I moved into the apartment on a rainy evening. The building was old, tall, and silent, standing all alone at the end of a narrow street. The rent was cheap, way too cheap, but I didn't ask any questions. I needed a place to stay, and I needed it fast. The landlord, a grim-faced man, gave me the key without cracking a smile. "You work night shifts?" he asked, his voice flat. "No," I replied, a little confused. He paused for a long moment, then said quietly, "Then you'll notice it." "Notice what?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. He just shook his head. "Nothing. Just lock your door." I laughed it off as him just being an eccentric old guy. That first night, I unpacked what little I had, took a quick, hot shower to wash off the chill of the rain, and collapsed into bed. The room felt normal, just cold, quiet, and empty. But at exactly 3:07 a.m., my eyes snapped open. I didn't know why at first. There was no sound, no sudden movement. Then I felt it, a palpable shift in the atmosphere. It felt like someone was standing right beside my bed. I could feel the weight of their presence, as if the air itself had become thick and heavy around me. I hadn't heard any footsteps. I couldn't hear breathing. I just felt an intense, creeping cold that had nothing to do with the room's temperature. My heart started pounding so loud I was sure it could be heard across the silent apartment. A primal instinct screamed at me, "Don't move, don't open your eyes." So I didn't. I lay there, rigid with fear, until after what felt like an eternity, the cold slowly faded away. When I finally dared to look, the room was empty. The second night, it happened again. The clock on my phone would have read 3:07 a.m. The same oppressive cold seeped into the room. The same heavy pressure settled beside my bed. But this time, there was something else, a smell. It was faint at first, but it grew stronger, the smell of old dust. And something rotten, like damp cloth, left to fester in a dark, forgotten basement. It was a smell of decay. On the third night, I heard it, breathing, slow, what, and raspy. It was so close, it sounded like it was right next to my ear. I wanted to scream. I wanted to bolt out of bed and run out of that apartment and never look back. But something inside me, some paralyzing terror, froze every muscle in my body. I was trapped, a prisoner in my own bed, forced to listen to that awful sound until it too eventually faded with the cold. By the fifth night, I didn't even pretend to sleep. I lay there with my eyes squeezed shut, my body tense, just waiting for that precise moment, 3:07 a.m., when it would arrive. It was a ritual now, every night, same time, same place, standing right beside my bed. On the seventh night, my terrified curiosity finally won. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to know. I had to see what was tormenting me night after night. So when the familiar cold washed over me, I took a ragged breath and I opened my eyes. At first, I saw nothing but the moonlit shadows of my room. Then, as my vision adjusted to the dark, I saw it. Someone was standing there, a woman. She was tall, impossibly unnaturally tall, her body stretched thin and long like a distorted reflection in a funhouse mirror. Long and black and tangled, hung over her face, completely obscuring it. Her skin had a pale grayish tint, like it had never seen sunlight. She didn't move. She didn't seem to breathe. She just stood there inches from my face, a silent, terrifying statue. Then, her head began to turn, slowly, and even though her eyes were hidden by that curtain of matted hair, I knew she was looking directly at me. I finally found my voice and I screamed. I scrambled for the lamp, and when the light flooded the room, she was gone. But that foul, rotten smell remained, clinging to the air. I tried to tell my coworkers the next day. They just laughed and told me I needed more sleep. I called my family. They said I was just stressed from the move. I tried to convince myself it was just a severe case of sleep paralysis, my exhausted mind playing tricks on me. That's all it was, until I noticed something new. Footprints, faint but undeniable. Their footprints appeared on the wooden floor every morning, wet, dark prints leading from the far corner of my room, directly to my side of the bed. They stopped right where she stood every night. I tried sleeping with all the lights on. She still came. I triple-checked the lock on my door. She still came. One night, I couldn't bear it, so I slept on a friend's couch. When I came back the next day, the footprints were already there, waiting for me. One morning, my blood ran cold. There were words written on the bathroom mirror, not with ink or steam, with fingerprints smudged across the glass. It said, "You see me now." My own reflection looked wrong. When I took a step back, my reflection moved a second too late. I tried to force a nervous smile, but the face in the mirror didn't smile back. It just stared. That night, when she came, she leaned closer than ever before. So close I could feel the ends of her cold, damp hair brushing against my cheek. And for the first time, she spoke. Her voice was a whisper that sounded like broken glass scraping against concrete. You weren't supposed to look. Desperate, I started digging into the building's history online. Late-night searches, fueled by caffeine and fear. And I found it, an old local news article. 20 years ago, a woman named Lydia Moore lived in my exact apartment. She suffered from a severe chronic insomnia. Neighbors reported seeing her standing motionless by her window every single night, just staring out into the darkness. One night, she was found dead, standing beside her own bed. The official cause of death was cardiac arrest from extreme exhaustion, but the article mentioned local rumors, witness accounts that the police dismissed. They said she wasn't alone when she died. They said she was seen standing beside her bed, staring intently at her own sleeping form, until her heart finally gave out. The next night, I knew what was coming, but knowing didn't make it any less terrifying. At 3:07 a.m., the cold arrived, and then she touched me. Her fingers were icy and stiff, like a corpse's pressing gently against my arm. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. She leaned down until her mouth was right next to my ear. I stood here every night, she whispered, her voice a death rattle. Now you will too. I felt a sudden, violent pulling sensation not on my body, but on something deeper, my very consciousness. My eyes darted to the full-length mirror against the wall, and I watched in horror as my reflection sat up in bed. Without me, an explosion of pain ripped through my head, and then, nothing. Everything went black, and then, I was standing beside the bed, looking down at myself. My body lay there paralyzed, my eyes wide with a terror I could no longer express. The woman, Lydia, smiled. Her face finally lifted, and I saw what her hair had been hiding. Her eyes were just hollow, black holes, endless and empty voids. She stepped towards my body on the bed, and phased into it, like putting on a coat. I tried to scream, to cry out, to do anything, but I had no voice, I had no body. So now, I stand here, every night, beside the bed, watching the thing that wears my face live my life. I arrive at 3:07 a.m. I stand perfectly still, and I wait. Sometimes, the person in the bed opens their eyes. I can see the fear dawn on their face, the same fear I felt. When they look at me, I lean closer, because someone has to take my place. So if you ever wake up in the middle of the night, and you feel that pressure, that unnatural cold, that feeling that someone is standing right beside your bed, whatever you do not open your eyes, because once you see us, you will never be alone again.